हाय अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग। पता है मुझे लिटरली अब सोचना पड़ेगा कि हाउ डू आई कम अप विद मच मोर इंटरेस्टिंग लाइंस टू गेट ऑन विद आवर ब्यूटीफुल मोस्ट फेवरेट मोस्ट हैपनिंग सफरनामा सीरीज। इसमें मजा पता है क्या आता है? मजा ये आता है दैट हर सैटरडे हर हर शनिवार 5 बजे के करीब या 7 बजे के करीब डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कन्वीनियंस ऑफ आवर बिजनेस ओनर we are able to give you an opportunity to understand the journey of an entrepreneur. हर एक को लगता है कि अच्छा कुछ जॉब नहीं मिला, कहीं कुछ काम नहीं चला, खुद का बिजनेस शुरू कर दिया। अरे बॉस, कभी इस तरफ भी आके देखो कि हमारी दिक्कतें, हमारी कंसर्न्स, हमारी जर्नी, हमारी सफलता किस हिसाब से होती है। So, a warm welcome to each and every viewer of ours to Safarnaama. Requesting my lovely sweetheart co-host to please dive in here.
Hi, Manisha. Hi, good evening. How are you doing? And good
Uh,
evening to all of you, and welcome to our next episode of Safarnaama, an exciting venture, as Manisha was describing, where every week we are able to get one entrepreneur and unravel their stories and unravel how they have begun their journeys as entrepreneurs or business owners. And we hope that this can actually motivate you or make you to do things or make you to take action if you want to get into this space where you
yeah.
want to start something of your own, or you want to get into an entrepreneurial journey. I hope that this program really helps you to do that. So without wasting any further
Wow.
time, let me get on to our lovely guest today. So today we
Hi,
have Sakshi. Hi, Sakshi.
Hi,
hi,
Saakshi.
Manisha, hi, Salil.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you
So
doing,
somehow,
Sakshi?
is it possible for you to keep her in between the two of us, please?
Yes,
So
yes, yes. All possible. Yeah.
half of the smile that I have is because we have Sakshi on the other side. Okay, so a few words about Sakshi. The few words are that the first time when I met her, in an IWBC meeting, so she's quiet. She's कुछ नहीं बोल रही है, and it is left for people to figure out कि okay, this is what she does, this is what she doesn't do. And suddenly I don't know what happened to this woman. Maybe एक 6 महीने समझो या शायद just maybe a few months, she opens up, and in the entire networking meeting she is coming up with, she's using props, she's using different ye glass bharo, wo glass todo, ye karo, wo karo, to talk about what she does. And that's when I was like, wow, this is creativity to another level. So a very warm welcome, Sakshi, onto our Safarnama.
Thank you so much, for your words as well. I like a lot of people think that I'm an extrovert. I don't know why. A lot of people, but actually, I think I am an introvert. Like I don't talk to a lot of people directly.
Mhm.
Eventually, within a span of like 6 8 months, I got close to IWBC people. So it became easy for me to actually
To open up.
show my ideas, open up with them. So yeah, I think that was like a very good journey for me as well.
Wow. So before Salil and me start fighting कि कौन क्या question पूछेगा, so I'm taking the lead, and Salil, it'll be one me, one you, then one me, then one you. So this is the cue. Okay, even for
Okay,
me,
okay,
even for
Manisha,
me,
got it.
even for me.
All
Yeah.
right.
So the first question, Sakshi. First question, Sakshi. You are, and I think I can say this very safely. You are way too young to be an entrepreneur, and the number of years that you have been running media next door. So before I plunge into media next door, before I plunge into what is M&D all about, describe Saakshi Goyal. Who is Saakshi Goyal?
Okay. So, as you said, that at a very young age, I started working, and I'm very young in business. So, I still remember when I was, I think, 12, 13, I always knew that I wanted to do something. First, I definitely knew that I wanted to do something in designing. Today,
Uh-huh.
also, I am completely into marketing. Like, after I started Media Next Door, but designing is something I love. Like still, whenever I get to design something, I love it. So I always wanted to be a designer. Like I never wanted to have a business or something. It was always there. It's something related to designing. Like I think when I was first or second grade, my drawing teacher told my mom that you should enroll her something into designing. I don't know
Uh-huh.
what, but it should be designing.
Huh.
So from that time, like till date, whether it's designing like a logo or designing a creative or drawing in general. Like last week, I painted my office table. So
Wow.
in general, I love doing that. And in terms of who I am as a person, I think I am someone. If like you meet me, you start talking to me, I'm someone who is never going to shut her mouth. Like I talk a lot. I love talking a lot. But it completely depends on the vibe someone gives. And I think you guys give me the best vibe because you have seen me talking so much. I think I'm someone who will ask a lot of questions. So I
Yeah.
know sometimes I ask very stupid questions as well. Like it can be anything random. Like you must have noticed, Manisha, you must have noticed in IWPC also when I joined, every meeting I had this one random question I used to ask, like,
Yes.
what do you think? Will someone buy this? Or something around those lines. And a lot of people think I just ask. But I have this thing whenever I ask something, I note it down. So, like I've seen for my clients also, I always make sure that all the ideas and everything goes as some layman is watching it or
Uh-huh.
someone, a common person is watching it. So I like asking people a lot of things to understand what is that other people think. Obviously, every one of us is different. So
Yes.
that is something I like doing.
Wow.
In casual, like general, I love shopping. I love shopping. Like, this is very off topic, but still.
Wow. So there are three summarizing points. One is that you love to talk. Second is you love to ask questions. Third is you love to design.
Yeah.
And fourth is the shopping bit. I think, which is why, okay, we'll come there. We'll come there. Salil,
Yes.
over to you.
So, Sakshi, you have already answered how did this journey begin? Okay, but at which point? So you said like you were interested in designing, and you always had this
Yeah.
thing कि कुछ भी हो मतलब कुछ भी मतलब designing के related कुछ तो करना है. Not very clear as to it could be social media or it could be digital marketing or
Yes.
whatever, but something around designing is some it was there like back of the mind कि हाँ ये करना है. Okay, but actually while working or while studying, when is it that you came up with this idea of opening a digital agency, like because it's a big step, it doesn't happen
Yeah.
like overnight.
Obviously. So eventually, like I knew that I want to go into designing. I was very clear that I don't want to do fashion or interior. I was very clear because I've seen a lot of people doing that, and all of us know that you need a lot of investment if you want to go into fashion or interior, and you need to have a lot of contacts. So that was very clear in my mind, but I didn't knew what else to do in like fashion. Like no one, sorry, in designing. No one in my family is into the design field, so I had no idea. So I started my research work, like what exactly can I do and all that stuff. I came across few schools in India that teach designing. I gave exams, I got cleared and everything. But then I realized like the fees is way too much, but the kind of salary that you get after clearing out or doing your undergrad from such schools is way too less in India at least. So I was very sure that I don't want to spend somewhere around 25, 30 lakh for the whole course and end up getting 25,000 a month. So then, like through a friend, I got an internship in one of the well-known agencies called Fruitful. So there I was working as a designer. Frankly speaking, when I joined the agency, I didn't even know what Photoshop is. I didn't knew what ad agencies are. I got it because of a referral. I won't even deny. There was a friend working, and because of her, I got
Nepotism.
an internship. Uh, you can say I got it for that reason. And internally, so I don't know if like the bosses would have seen this video. They will realize कि उन्होंने hire कर लिया था. उनको लगा था मुझे बहुत चीजें आती है. But I think within a week or two, everybody tried to teach me each and every point कि ठीक है ये software ऐसे use करते हैं ये चीज ऐसे करते हैं. Everyone was helping me out. Then I realized I love doing this. Like I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to be a designer. Graphic designing is something I'm going to love. I knew it. So there were times as an intern when I used to make my first brochure. I used to print it and I used to roam in the whole office saying कि मेरा पहला brochure है. I was 19. So everybody used to enjoy that because they were seeing that okay I'm young. They used to encourage it. I did the internship for 6 months. So I still remember the date I joined the internship. It was 20th March 2017.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So I did a 6 months internship.
Mhm.
While the internship phase, I realized people are liking my work. I was working for Society T, Mumbai Metro, Tata at that point of
Wow.
life,
Big
that
brand.
point of time as an intern. They offered
Huh.
me a job. I was still in college. So I knew that I don't want to settle up like in a 9 to 5 job and work there. So when I was offered a job, a friend of mine actually offered me some freelance work for the same salary. So she was like, "You just need to make this many creatives, and I will pay you this much of money." And as a 19-year-old, it was like, "Okay, I'm earning this much
Wow.
of money, and I'm working only for 2 days."
Huh.
So that
Huh.
was something like I found it very interesting.
Hmm.
Slowly, a lot of people whom I met in the agency started giving me work from their agencies. I was like somewhere or the other. And I realized, okay, I'm making good money. When I compare it to my friends, this is something I think I should do. I was so crazy because I was getting paid per creative. I
Wow.
was so happy that I used to work 3 days straight. I used to not sleep because the more work I do, the more money I will get. This was a very simple logic I had at the age of 19. But slowly, I realized that obviously designing is not something you can stick to. Like I realized that with designing, there comes content, there comes strategy, there comes a lot of stuff. That time, some like my seniors from the agency itself offered me a freelance gig where they were like, okay, let's do one thing. Like there was one content writer, there was this one marketing chick, and there was me. So they were like, let's form a freelance agency. We'll get clients. If we get any client, we'll work and we'll divide the money in 3 parts. We named it night owls because we all used to work day. Like in the daytime, we
Like.
used to have a job, and in the
Right.
night, we used to work for this agency called Night Owls.
Hmm.
And when we started Night Owls, it was like a 20, like at the age of 20, I felt okay, I have my own company. I always dreamt that I'm going to have this office. But for them, it was like a side freelance work. So they were not very serious. Like after I think 7 or 8 months, they realized no, we don't want to do this. We want to settle up in a full-time job because they had their expenses to pay. And for me, it was more like I was still in college. I didn't had anything to do. So I was like, no, I want to continue this. I was loving that.
हाँ ये मजा
But,
आया.
and I like as I said, I was an introvert.
Hmm.
Even when we used to go for meetings and all, they used to say, "Ki, okay, this is Saakshi Goyal, she designs for us." So I never introduced myself. So I knew that I'm not going to be someone who is going to be the face of the company ever.
हाँ,
But
ये साक्षी
one,
गोयल डिजाइन करेगी, ये बोलेगी नहीं कुछ. तो ये
हाँ,
हमने ऐसे एज अ प्रॉप लेके आए हैं, तो यू नो डोंट आस्क हर एनीथिंग.
so एक्चुअली ऐसा था मतलब लोगों ने मेरी आवाज ही नहीं सुनी थी फॉर अ ईयर जब हम वो फ्रीलांस वाला चीज कर रहे थे किसी ने आवाज नहीं सुनी थी.
अनबिलीवेबल. अनबिलीवेबल.
After I think a year, they both realized that they don't want to continue, and I was like heartbroken. Like I was like, कि कैसे अब मैं क्या करूँ? I don't know what to do next. So that is when my partner Agas came into the picture. He graduated that year, and he was like, if you want to
वेल
start
डन
to
आकाश.
look, huh?
वेल डन आकाश. ग्रेजुएट हो गया वो.
So so eventually he suggested that let's start together. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? नहीं होगा. Like हमने जो start किया, we were very young, so we were ready to take the risk. तो हमने मस्त होशियारी में हमारी जितनी सेविंग्स थी वो एक ऑफिस में डाल दी. We hired 2 people and we were like कि ठीक है हमने ऑफिस स्टार्ट कर दिया है.
वाओ.
Then I think for 2 months we didn't had any work. Like, because मुझे मार्केटिंग आती ही नहीं है, कहाँ से आएगा?
हाँ. हाँ.
That is when we realized now it's time. I need to start talking to people. Uh, so I still remember we used to call a lot of people. We used to make very big list. हम है ना high end brands को call करके बोलते थे we are an agency. And obviously cold calling doesn't work. Okay, I still
Now
remember
you know.
two.
Now you know.
Now I know I've done that. I've called more than 1,000 of people. I can tell you, I've called
Huh.
so many people.
Huh.
And I think in March, like we started our agency in January 2019. In
Huh.
March, randomly Pooja actually, so we had this thing that whoever gets us a client will get 10% of whatever the client pays us. So
Okay.
we have given this to all our friends and family कि अगर तुम हमारे
Huh.
क्लाइंट होगे हम तुम्हें 10% देंगे. So a lot of
So
my friends started.
just one question, like one
Yeah,
question,
yeah,
like
actually.
कि आप introvert है हमको पता है, like because you
हाँ,
told us. Okay. What about Akash, who is your partner who joined you, and you started this company? Is he also an introvert, or is he like the
I can
outgoing
still
person?
talk. He can still
Yeah.
not talk with anybody.
I think if Sakshi is like introvert here, he is like, but the
Acha.
dot.
Acha. So then
So
it was clear that it has to be you who has to be
Yes.
the face of the company.
Yes.
You know,
And plus,
you
I
have to
had
be.
the experience. I've seen people talking. Like I have been to meetings and stuff. So I've seen my partners talking. So I knew
हम्म,
करना क्या है. मुझे नहीं पता
थोड़ा
कि
बहुत
मैं कैसे
हाँ
करूँगी. But
हाँ
करना क्या है मुझे पता. And I still
हम्म,
remember Pooja ढोलकिया. She
हाँ,
messaged Meera Republic. ठीक है?
okay.
oh,
Saying
okay.
that we have this agency, we can do your social media and all that stuff.
Huh.
And Alka called me. Alka was like, okay, let's meet. And I
Wow.
was, yeah, I was so excited. Like that was my actual first meeting. I
Huh.
went to meet her and she was like, okay, start working. I still
Huh.
asked Alka कि आपने क्यों हाँ बोला उस दिन. We
Huh.
didn't
Huh.
talk in background anything. And she
Huh.
was like, I just felt that you can do something.
हाँ
We started working with her on I think March 10 or something.
Huh.
और 27th March को होली थी.
Huh.
हम्म, हम्म,
She got such a good response that she
हम्म,
loved it. Then she started recommending my name to everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone. So जब हमने चालू किया था ना हमने सोचा नहीं था we'll stick to some one specific space in digital marketing. But
हम्म,
after we started working with Meera Republic, we realized that restaurant is something we are good at.
Hmm.
So
right.
we started approaching only restaurants. So that
हम्म,
was our
Hmm.
niche. Like we would be working only for hospitality.
Hmm.
right.
Till May 2019, we had 20 restaurants under us.
Wow.
20.
Wow,
So that
that's
was
a lot.
something. Yeah, and we had a team of 10 people, 10 working active people by May
Hmm.
2019. We had
Hmm.
very known brands, like those are actually very known in the industry in Mumbai.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we realized, okay, this like we are doing something.
हम्म,
We were
So
doing great.
I have to stop you here.
Yeah.
How were you feeling when you had your 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds who were with you, your other friends, your college friends, and because you said that you started off at the age of 19,
हम्म,
you started having whatever, whether it was night owls or whether it was this media next door that you started, so I'm assuming must be maybe or 2-3 साल. So जब जनता कॉलेज में मजे कर रही थी, साक्षी was actually getting on to doing so much of working.
work.
कहीं वो ऐसा वो ये नहीं हुआ, that
So
कीड़ा,
you
the
won't
चुभ.
believe, I still I still feel it. मतलब जब है ना I see so basically मैं कभी practically college गई ही नहीं. I used to go
हाँ आएगा.
for exams. हाँ, मैं खाली एग्जाम देने जाती थी और मेरे बाकी जितने भी दोस्त थे, everyone had that group. They used to go for IB. They used to go to college. उनके college groups होते थे. So I used to feel
Right.
bad, and you won't believe I still feel bad. Like I still feel कि मैंने वो college के दिन नहीं देखे जो मेरे दोस्तों ने देखे हैं. They still have those
Right.
stories which I don't.
हाँ.
So, but then I realized that at this point in life, when my friends are struggling to actually realize that what they want to do, where where are they in life, I know what I'm doing. I know what like I am and what is
Hmm.
something I want to do maybe 10 years down the lane. So I like as a kid, I was an average student.
You better be careful of what you're saying because your friends will bajao you.
Everyone knows
After
it.
this.
You won't believe. So this is a very good thing. That all my friends they know I've been
Yeah.
like I'm someone who cribs about it कि मैंने अपनी कॉलेज लाइफ क्यों नहीं जी. कहीं ना कहीं मेरे
Right.
दोस्त भी अब काम करना चालू तो कर ही चुके हैं. So I feel कि काश मेरी कॉलेज लाइफ फील ही होती. But
हाँ.
then they are like कि like मेरे सारे दोस्त ये बोलते हैं कि it's very good that you started working because right now you are at a good position. Like touch
Yeah.
wood, but
That's good.
I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
proud of what I am doing right now. And like as I said, like I was an average student in school. So मेरे सोसाइटी वगैरह में भी ना everyone used to say कि पता नहीं ये क्या करेगी लाइफ में, मतलब होता ना वो बच्चे जो पता नहीं क्या करेंगे. And now when I see those people saying ना, उन्होंने अपने बच्चों को बोला कि भाई साक्षी को देखो कितना अच्छा कर रही है. तो जब
रोल
हम ये
मॉडल, सडनली रोल मॉडल बन गई.
आई एम टेलिंग यू वो इमेज चेंज हो जाती है ना, तो वो सब
हाँ
देखने के बाद मुझे लगता है कि ठीक है यार कॉलेज की लाइफ गए तो गए.
ठीक है, ठीक है,
और
बताओ.
दिख रहा है मुझे साक्षी के पीछे. यस
या
सर.
So, so Mira Republic, as you said, was your first client. Okay.
यस.
But see, एक digital media या social media को लेके, there is a lot of confusion even with the clients. Like even they don't know what really needs to be done. So, when were you able to come up with a solution, so as to say, because otherwise what people have in mind कि इतने post करने हैं और हमारा social media पे presence हो जाएगा. Like, so ये जो differentiation है in terms of actually working out a strategy or working out की what is it that you want to do. तो ये realization कब और कौन से client या कैसे how did that transition happen.
So basically, when we were only handling hospitality, it was always about just showing the product because restaurant में ऐसा हो जाता है कि आपको खाली दिखाना है कि restaurant कैसे अलग है. Okay,
Hmm.
but like after pandemic happened, we हमारे जितने clients थे सबके restaurants बंद हो गए थे because restaurants function
राइट.
ही नहीं कर रहे थे. So we were
राइट.
completely at home. That is when we realized कि ठीक है, now we need to divide our portfolio into different sectors. हम एक एक कोई चीज पे dependent नहीं रह सकते लाइफ में. You never know what happens. So that is
राइट.
when we started working with different kinds of people. So we went into jewelry, we went into photography, we went into service sector. But when we started doing this, we realized कि लोग आपको क्यों ही फॉलो करेंगे. मैं मतलब मैं क्यों फॉलो करूँ. So I have this very basic funda कि no matter how much you like any brand, for example Coca-Cola, all of us have brand Coca-Cola हमारी जिंदगी में, but क्या आप Instagram या Facebook पे Coca-Cola का पेज को फॉलो करते हो? नहीं. But there are people whom you follow. Why do you follow them? Because कहीं ना कहीं they give you something. For example, I follow a lot of fashion influencers because वो बताते हैं कि आप किस टाइप से अपने एक ही ड्रेस को 10 तरीके से पहन
पहन
सकते
पहन
हो.
सकते हो.
मार्केट में कौन से ब्रांड्स हैं जो स्पेसिफिक चीजें प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. So they give you a lot of education. So that is where we realize that we need to start thinking as a layman, as someone who is going to follow us. तो मैं आपको क्यों ही follow करूँ? So till date, if we make any strategy for any of our client, we keep this in mind that obviously Instagram pe people are spending 6 to 7 hours of their day on Instagram, Facebook, but they are spending it because they are enjoying that scrolling. They are there for education. According to report, 50% of the audience is there on such platforms for videos. They only watch videos on such platforms. So that is when we realize कि अच्छा मतलब अगर 50% लोग वीडियो ही देख रहे हैं, so let's start making video for people. So that is when Rebecca came into picture. So she was a client. She was our first client जिसके साथ हमने videos बनाने चालू
वीडियोस
किए.
बनाने शुरू किए.
I remember we started working with her in October 2020. She had 600 followers. 600. We started making videos for her. March 2021, which is like I think 6 months. Within 6 months, from 600, she went to 10,000 followers. I
Wow.
still remember at
Yeah.
IWC meeting, I was like, I can't believe this. कि 10,000 हमने की. I was also in shock. But that is the power of videos. That is the power of reels. Today, today, in August 2022, she has 1,52,000 followers, which is a very huge number, and that is organic. So, like,
Wow.
that is when we realize that let's give the audience what they actually want.
Hmm.
Then again, there was this obstacle that a lot of people know what they want to do. They know they want to make videos, but video बनाए कैसे? हम कैसे act करें? हम क्या बोले? So that is when we realized कि ठीक है यार, मतलब हमें सबको spoon feed ही करना पड़ेगा. हमने ट्राई किया, हमने हमारे क्लाइंट को बोला कि ये टॉपिक है, आप हमें ना 5 वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करके भेज दो. We realized कोई नहीं करके भेजता है. आप कितना ही पीछे पड़ लो नहीं देते. So that is when we realized कि ठीक है यार, it will take our time and efforts, but let's get on board. Let's go, like, let us go and shoot their videos for them. देखा जाएगा, मतलब नहीं अच्छा होएगा तो नहीं होगा, but let's shoot it. That is when we started shooting videos for us, and I think that helped us grow because not every agency does that. Like not everyone is doing that in the industry right now. So
True, true.
people actually like it कि ओ हमें मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी.
Hmm.
So that was like a turning point for us, and that is something which clients started liking about us.
Right.
So okay, so then it's I know that it's a very cliche sort of a question, but when there are so many social media marketeers, when there are so many digital agencies, whatever, whether वो branded हो नहीं हो, established हो नहीं established हो, so what does Sakshi, तुम्हारे हिसाब से तो M&D का USP क्या है? How are you different from other people?
So there are two USP that we consider. One is so basically like I've worked in a huge agency and I know what do they charge for how many creatives and everything.
Hmm.
Being a young entrepreneur, I have seen a lot of my friends struggling with marketing because हमारे पास इतने पैसे नहीं होते स्पेंड करने के लिए मार्केटिंग के लिए, तो हम ये सोचने लग जाते हैं कि कहाँ पैसे बचा है. And what we have
Hmm.
noticed is when people are not earning, now the first thing they stop is marketing, which is a big
Right,
problem.
right.
So we came up with this thing where we wanted to help specifically startups. Like we had this very clear thing in mind that I want to focus on startups because they are the people who are struggling with marketing.
Hmm.
Every startup have their own budget of marketing. Okay.
Right,
So what we
right.
started doing is we started asking the client, कि, okay, आपका budget कितना है?
Hmm.
You tell us, and I
Hmm.
can suggest you कि उतने budget में what all things you can do and what all
Hmm.
things we can give to you which will help you.
Hmm.
At a lot of point, क्लाइंट का बजट इतना कम था कि आई नो कि अगर हम करेंगे भी ना उनको हेल्प नहीं करेगा, दैट इज वेस्ट ऑफ मनी. सो वी हैव बीन
Right.
अपफ्रंट, वी हैव बीन वेरी क्लियर अबाउट दैट कि
Hmm.
ओके दिस इज नॉट समथिंग आई वुड सजेस्ट यू शुड डू. So we have been
Hmm.
always very clear about like what they should do, what they should not do in terms
Right.
of. So we believe in educating the audience first. No matter if
Hmm.
you're going to convert as a client or not, you should know that what is that you should do and what is that you should not do. If,
Not
for
true.
example, you come to me and say me that this is the amount I want to spend, I can't spend more than that.
Right.
So we will divide that amount. So, for example, if we know your media spends is important for you, you need to promote your creatives to get sales. So we
Hmm.
divide your amount into that area. So that is
Right.
something I think customized packages is
Hmm.
something that was different that we were doing. Second is, as I said, that we were involved with the client in terms of shooting the reels, the strategy part, and everything. That is something not a lot of people are doing.
Not a lot of people.
So these two things made us different in the industry and made us stand out. Is what
Right.
we
Wow.
believe.
So, Sakshi, can you tell me what is your dream client? So, as you know, some brand or some this thing that you would really love to work for, like.
So see, I don't know if anyways had a dream client, but I always had like I want when someone thinks about digital marketing, they need to think about us. And like this is like a success story I want to share. So I always wanted everybody to know like but I होता है ना कि आपके पास ये client है तो आप show off करते हो client का वैसा.
Hmm.
So everybody wants that. Yesterday, we got Ayushman Khurana's dad as a client.
Wow.
Ooh. Wow.
So, like, this
Wow.
is like, yeah. So, I actually wanted to share this with you guys. So, like, now I feel I'm reaching where I wanted to reach.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are a lot of clients I want to work with, definitely. But, like, as I said, I always want to work with startups because I see a lot of potential in them. And I can't name कि आगे जाके कितने सारे startups एक बड़े brand बनने वाले हैं. Maybe
Hmm.
there are so many clients that we're working with are startups and they might reach to some other level someday,
Right.
and we can proudly
Right.
say
Definitely.
that they started their journey with us.
Hmm.
बट ऐसा
That's
कोई
great.
तो होगा ना कि ऐसा जो लगता है कि नहीं होना चाहिए, ऐसा एक मस्त क्लाइंट रहेगा तो बहुत मजा आएगा.
I
बोल दो ना.
always had this dream
शायद वो
of
लोग सुन रहे हो.
Netflix,
नेटफ्लिक्स.
Netflix being our client.
ओके. नाउ
Because
वी आर
like
टॉकिंग.
currently also, yeah. So currently also the kind of work they're doing is very quirky and very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10 years down the lane,
नहीं
you never
टाइम
know.
क्यों 10 years क्यों, मे बी 2 साल 1 साल. You never know.
maybe,
What if
maybe
someone is watching from their team and they'll be like, "Hey,
I
this girl we
actually,
should work with."
actually.
you never know.
So when you are in the field of creativity, and where Samjo, if you're, say, if you're handling say 20 clients, okay, how do you guys figure out how to be creative for each of them? How do you ensure that creativity is actually happening? Because see, आप हर एक को अगर उनके हिसाब से जो भी स्ट्रैटेजी बताएंगे या वीडियोस करने को कहेंगे, रील्स करने को कहेंगे, तो फिर आप वो how do you create that differentiation for your clients?
So, like this thing we have, like with any client strategy, first we have like an internal meeting where like all my team members start thinking about what are the competitors doing, what is something that the client can do. Once we have a strategy, we set the client. So obviously, see, if I'm working with 20 different types of clients, I can't know everything about everyone. But
Right,
as a client, they are only working on their business. They know XYZ everything about their business. So
right.
we sit with them, we understand what is that they want, what is
Hmm,
the ideas that they have, and we
hmm,
try to help them with their ideas and we add our ideas as well. So
hmm,
if, for example, if we are working on 15 different ideas, out of
hmm,
that, most of the time 10 ideas are from the client only. They don't know they have given us ideas, but when
hmm.
we talk, is when we realize, okay, client के mind में हमेशा होता है उनको क्या
होता ही
चाहिए.
है. True,
हाँ, बट
true.
वो क्या होता है कि you need to sit with them, you need to ask them questions. अच्छा मतलब आपको ऐसा करना है कि ऐसा करना है.
Hmm,
That is when they start speaking. So this is
hmm,
something we try doing with every client, that we have one meeting at least with them where we sit with them and
hmm.
understand like what do you want to focus on for this month,
Wow,
and then according to that we make a strategy.
wow, wow. Wow, so we're already, Salil, we're already on our 31st minute. We are like,
30, 30 seconds, 33rd.
yes, 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 yes.
No
I
problem.
talk a lot.
So
Yes.
Sakshi, what, you said you were very clear with the vision that you have for 10 years. 10 years from now, where is it that you want to be? So can you also give us an insight of what that vision is?
Sure. So like I can't reveal all my ideas, but I definitely know, as you guys know, like with Media Next Door, we have local Pitara as well. So like I eventually Media Next Door is like my dream. Like, it's like my baby for me because that is something I can fulfill my dream of being a designer, and that is where I actually meet a lot of people. Like so, if you see Media Next Door and if you see local Pitara, these are two different kinds of business that we have.
Completely.
Absolutely.
The thing that I love most about Media Next Door is eventually, like on a daily basis, I meet a new person. Like
Hmm,
whether it's pitch meeting, whether it's a employee interview or anything, I meet new people.
hmm,
So within 10 years down the lane, I definitely want to make Media Next Door a name that every brand should know of.
hmm,
And in terms of local Petara, I want to make local Petara a household brand. Like
hmm,
if someone thinks about basic things, affordable basic things, they need to think about local Petara. As of now, local Petara is all about jewelry, but like it is not going to be jewelry forever. There are a lot
wow.
of things that we are going to add to local Petara. But I always had this one thing. So like I'm a banya. Banya always thinks
Hmm,
money. So for me, like I have this one amount that I want to reach up to. So
hmm.
and like, I always want कि कहीं ना कहीं पता है कैसा होता है कि आप किसी को देखकर बोलते हैं कि ये XYZ ब्रांड का ओनर है एंड लाइक आर यू किडिंग मी आर यू सीरियस आई वांट
Huh,
दैट
huh.
like I might sound very kiddish right now but
Blessings.
so
Blessings.
I think for me it's always about being that one person that people
Hmm.
get inspired from. So
Wow.
10 years down the lane, obviously, I want Media Next to reach up to that level कि मैं Netflix account ऐसा handle करूँ.
Excellent.
I want local Pitara to reach at one level where people would trust local Pitara as like we trust any brand like Miso maybe. So that is something we have planned as of
Nice.
Wow.
now.
Nice.
Very nice.
Salil, you
Very
want
nice.
to ask? We have Kenny Oberoi, a long lost viewer of ours who's back
Oh
now,
yeah.
and
Hi,
it's, yeah,
welcome, Kenny.
and it's nice to have him here. So
Yes.
Sakshi, Kenny has a question for you.
Okay.
कि आजकल आजकल के दौरान में so is website important because nowadays everyone is having like a daily posting on FB and WhatsApp. So is website having a website important in these times?
So it completely depends on your product. If you're into product based, website is definitely important because where are you going to sell your product? There are marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, but still having your own website where people buy saves you a lot from the extra commission that you have to pay to other brands. Whereas if it comes to service, a lot of people
Hmm.
think कि ठीक है मैं कोई website बनाऊँ service ही तो
Right.
है मैं कौन सा कुछ sell कर रहा हूँ उसके through. But
Right.
you tell me if आप कहीं पे search करते हो, for example
Hmm.
bridging gaps. If I
Hmm.
search bridging gaps online and if I don't find anything, I just find your Instagram, Facebook page. Am I going
Hmm.
to trust you? Because Instagram, Facebook page is something मैं आज Netflix का Instagram खोल के बैठ जाऊँ. How
Right.
can someone trust? So
Right.
obviously it is just for hygiene purpose, but you need
Right.
to have it so that people start trusting you as a brand. If someone has a website, I will trust them because oh website है मतलब genuine लोग हैं. They have invested
Genuine.
money. ऐसा नहीं है कि आज मन किया कि मैं XYZ brand खोल लूँ और मैंने Instagram, Facebook page खोल लिया and I start selling. If you are serious about your business, you will definitely have a base. So it is
Right.
just not just your Instagram, Facebook, or website. Your Google presence is also as important as anything.
True.
Right.
So,
True that.
answering to your question, website is definitely important, and you need maybe you can have like a one-page landing page, but it is
Mm-hmm.
important. It also helps in your SEO. Like when someone
Hmm.
searches for example, digital marketing services. अगर
Hmm.
मेरा नाम आ ही नहीं रहा है, तो what is the sense?
What is the point? Hmm.
Yes. So it definitely helps, but you need to have a strong SEO as well. So when someone searches for it, they know about it.
Great, great.
So
Wow. So I think
thank
Kenny
you.
also is quite happy with what you answered.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Great. Yeah. So like you were mentioning, can you just quickly tell people what is like the few things, the few hygienic things that they need to do if they are, a startup or if they're just starting off their business. तो ऐसे
Hmm.
1 2 3 4 ऐसे क्या चीजें होनी जरूरी मतलब these are non-negotiable.
Okay. So one definitely is consistency. So I've seen a lot of my clients also. What they do is, okay, they have done social media for a month or two something, and they're like, कि नहीं यार इतना response नहीं मिल रहा है. Let's stop it. We will
Hmm.
start again.
Hmm.
Then 6 महीने के लिए गायब हो जाएंगे. Then छह
Hmm.
महीने बाद वापस जागेंगे. So when you
Hmm.
do this, what happens is आपका पूरा algorithm बिगड़ जाता है. So
Right.
Hmm.
if you're not consistent, people will lose interest in you. So,
Hmm.
like, see, social media is a very slow process. People don't understand this. कि just because
Hmm.
आप रोज post कर रहे हो, आपको उतना sales नहीं मिलेगा.
Hmm.
But somewhere or the other, you need to have consistency. Plus, you need to have a brand image. For example, a
Hmm.
lot of people just put a lot of stuff on their, like, for example, if I have my services, मैं सारी service एक post में डाल के उसको promote कर दूंगी. People are not going to read it. So we need to
True.
understand what actually people want to see. मतलब कोई आपके प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में क्यों ही जानना चाहेगा? कोई आपको क्यों ही देखना चाहेगा? So keeping in mind that what will help the audience, what is that will interest them. So always
Hmm.
think एक कॉमन मैन की तरह से कि अगर मैं
Hmm.
इंस्टाग्राम पे जाता हूँ या मैं फेसबुक पे जाता हूँ, would I be interested in doing this or seeing this? That is
Hmm.
something you need to take care of. Lately videos are doing very good for people. Like there had been times yesterday only I actually saw this one person I know. He had 3,000 followers. Like Manisha, I've heard this story a lot of times, like for different people. But it's like he had 3,000 followers. One of the videos got 24 million views, and because of that, today he has 17,000 followers.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
like,
So it
if you start
matters. What do you say? Matters.
it
Content matters.
consistency matters, videos matters, and on Instagram nowadays, Reels is giving you a lot of views. So when a
Hmm.
lot of people are actually watching you, you're not paying anything. So if people are
Hmm.
actually watching you, start making videos. That will help you grow.
Hmm.
Third is
Hmm.
you need to start promoting. Like I've seen a lot of people, they're like हम post कर रहे हैं, हम videos बना रहे हैं, but हमारा sale नहीं हो रहा है. So
Hmm.
see, आप मतलब क्यों इंस्टाग्राम आपका कंटेंट पुश करेगा? देयर आर थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ब्रांड्स हु आर सेलिंग सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट्स टू योर्स, इट्स एज
Hmm.
सेम एज योर्स. तो आप में ऐसा क्या अलग है? मतलब
Hmm.
आपको देख ही नहीं रहा है कोई. सो इफ यू वांट
Correct.
योर ऑडियंस टू सी यू, यू नीड टू हैव a specific demographic. Like आपको पता है, for example,
Hmm.
local Pitara is a jewelry business, is a
Hmm.
jewelry brand. There are thousands of pages जो jewelry बेच रहे हैं, ठीक है?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
a lot of people that I've seen, the mistake they're doing is they're promoting it in like metro cities, Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi.
Hmm.
Hmm.
These people already have the access to such jewelry. They already have all these things, but no one is
Hmm.
Right.
focusing on the rural part. Nobody is
Hmm.
focusing on maybe the
Tier 2 cities.
cities जहाँ पे actually ये सब चीजें मिलती ही नहीं है.
True.
Hmm.
So
True.
that is something we realize कि we need to know हमारा audience क्या है. We need to know कहाँ पे वो चीजें नहीं मिलती जो हम provide कर रहे हैं.
Right.
So
Wow.
that is something you need to take care of when you start your social media, your page. So to sum up this, educational videos to educate your audience, knowing your audience, and making content that people would like to watch, and being consistent.
Wow.
These are the four things you
Wow.
need to keep in mind.
Wow. Wow. How
Super.
does this happen? How does this gyan come from someone who is like, who is definitely not that old, who is definitely extremely, extremely young? There is like amazing. Sakshi, I think it's amazing. Amazing.
Super. ये सब नहीं करोगे तो क्या ही कर लोगे तुम अपने सोशल
I know. कहाँ ही पहुंच
मीडिया
पाओगे.
काहे कौन ही देख लेगा तुम्हें
और ही देख लेगा. There is there is this one thing. I mean, of course, it's a known fact that now MND, that is Media Next Door, is our digital marketer person. These guys are the people who are behind us getting on to Manisha and Salil. The pitch, the actually जो साक्षी ने आज सारे viewers के सामने बताया is the pitch that she had given to Salil and me, that boss, you need to have your Manisha and Salil ka page and move from bridging gaps and make it more customized, क्योंकि Coca-Cola कौन देखता है. So that Coca-Cola has sort of stuck in my head. But Sakshi, I think it's great work, and I love the fact, as a client, this is what I would want to say so on this platform. It's brilliant to work with you and Akash. It's brilliant to work with you guys because I think you understand the target audience. You take the pains to figure out कि हम हमारे दिमाग में क्या है. Yeah, you are able to take that out of us really well, and it's fun. It's at the end of it, it's complete fun.
so
This is
thank
what
you
we work for. Like such reviews. यहाँ से आता है ज्ञान.
Great.
thank you Sakshi for being a
Thank
part
you,
of
Sakshi. Thank you,
Safarnama
Sakshi.
and
Thank you so much
enlightening
for
all
having me. It was like my first time talking to someone like this. Randy.
yeah
Yeah, yeah. So
ऐसा
so I think
जो भी
anyone,
देख रहा
if
है जो भी देख
हाँ,
रहा है उसको ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि ये फर्स्ट टाइम है साक्षी
हाँ.
बहुत झूठ बोल रही है
So it's like, क्या ये देश जानना चाहता है, साक्षी गोयल
इंडिया
इंट्रोवर्ट
वांट्स
है
टू नो
या एक्सट्रोवर्ट है. India wants to know. So please, if you guys have seen this, if you guys have seen Sakshi Safarnaama, do answer and do let us know what is Sakshi Goyal. Thank you people, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
thank you
much.
so much
Thank you so
and
much.
have a lovely weekend and
Same to you.
yeah and a great Independence Day
Same to you.
75th
Videos भेजते ना.
Amrit Mahotsav. All right, see you guys, bye
Bye.
bye, see you
Thank you
next
so
week,
much. Bye.
bye.
Have you offline?